Something happened last week that I thought was particularly strange. James cleverly wrote to all the heads of the UK embassies and missions around the world, instructing them to take a strengthened approach to handling the Scottish Government ministerial visits to ensure that the devolution settlements are respected. The letter went further and gave specifics on how the strengthened approach should be handled. Gather information on potential upcoming Scottish Government ministerial visits. Ensure your host governments understand that requests for ministerial meetings with devolved governments should be coordinated via the UK Government. And ensure the senior UK Government official attends Scottish Government ministerial meetings with host government ministers. So the question remains is, why would they do this? The UK Government know that as long as the devolved governments play by the rules of the oppressor, basically the rules of Westminster, then Westminster can say no to anything to do with independence. Forever. And there's pretty much nothing Scotland can do about this. Westminster now flex this power internationally with these letters too. This is just the Union pushing a toxic partner-style control over the nation's ability to discuss what we want with whom we want. Basically saying, we want to know when and who you are meeting with. Tell who we want to talk to that we are bad and don't have permission to do so. And we also need to monitor what you say, just in case you say something to undermine our toxic authority. But the truth is, they can't stop Scotland from taking the case for independence to the international stage. We did it before, and Westminster were fuming over it. It's how we got our referendum to create our devolved parliament. Remember when we voted in 1997 for our parliament and did so in overwhelmingly positive favour for it? Labour like to say they were the creators of devolution. They weren't really. Blair's government were dragged kicking and screaming into devolution by a little talked about Scottish United Nations Committee. Yes, we did have one, and we are here today not because of Labour, but because of the hard work done by the UN Scottish Committee. This Scottish Committee put massive pressure on the Council of Europe and other countries, such as Russia and the UK, to uphold the rules of the Council of Europe and allow Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland to push for their own parliament. That's the story in short, but it's much longer than that and involved years of wrangling and British state interference, so for now we'll keep it in the context of the present timeline. The UK had to follow the rules of the Council of Europe through gritted teeth, and during the Blair administration and under international supervision, we had a referendum to form our own parliament. Incidentally, Blair and his Chancellor Gordon Brown hated the idea of devolution so much they did not even turn up for the opening of Holyrood due to a critical stage in some sort of talks. Excuses, Tony. Rubbish excuses. Terrible excuses. And did I say excuses? Anyway, what has that got to do with a letter from James Cleverly to all the missions around the world? What we see again is an attempt by the UK government to prevent Scotland from engaging with the international community, specifically about reserved matters like the Constitution, issues which could lead to discussing Scottish independence. And to be fair, they can truly do their best to stifle any talks by any of our ministers as much as they please. But what they cannot do is prevent a registered and organised liberation movement that is not political from engaging with the international community. And that's why they are shitting themselves. They have pushed the independence movement into a corner with how we can manoeuvre within the rules of the oppressor. They have even started undermining our democracy by denying political mandates and the use of Section 35 orders. But we the people are not bound by such things. We the people have absolute power to create a liberation movement that the British state cannot legally touch. It can of course set its attack dogs upon us with dirty tricks and character assassinations, like it did with members of the Scottish Committee at the UN. But we still won. They still laid the foundation of the true route to independence, which is moving out of the political route into a civic route that is not accountable to the rules of the devolution settlement. Let's look at what's happening right now. Our political parties of independence are imploding or attacking one another. Our political bloggers are sitting about the party they don't like and relishing in the paradigm of "I told you so." But where does that get us? Absolutely nowhere, other than stroking the hegemonist political ego. Politics will never deliver independence, like it never delivered our parliament. Only we can do that, and only we have the power to instigate a non-political mass civic liberation movement. And you know what? We've got one, and it's growing. Every day I sign up another person to it, and that's one more person closer to growing larger than our largest political entity in Scotland. Numbers equal credibility, and credibility means international conversations, and international conversations deliver a credible route to independence. So why not rise above the political squabbling and take control of our own destiny? We can still squabble, you know, that's fine, it'll just not make a difference to independence. But this can. Right now, you can add your name to the thousands that already have, and get your friends and family to do so, and the person you're sitting next to on the bus. It'll work. We just need you to make it work. And that's it. Sign up. The link's just coming. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and good luck.